Well, here we are on a Tuesday. Yes, a Tuesday after a day off without getting to enjoy a day off for myself. My apologies for not being here yesterday. I assume pretty self-explanatory, as of course there just wasn't any electricity for much, not all of the afternoon. In fact, as most everyone who was without for a number of hours is well aware, it came on right around 5:30, 5:40 or so, and it takes longer than an hour just to boot everything back up and get everything back online when we do without power for a significant amount of time. So again, my apologies. A lot of confusion around yesterday, not just the power outage itself, but caused by the power, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. A host of other news and information to get to this evening, and of course we're coming off a weekend where we saw only about a third of an inch of rain on Sunday instead of the expected and feared 3 inches or more, and that means that we fared much better than a lot of other folks like those in Frankfort and parts of western Kentucky, and for that I am sure everyone in our viewing area is thankful and keeping everyone else in our thoughts and prayers. As far as the weather is concerned, Governor Beshear earlier today had an update saying that as of 9 o'clock this morning, there were still 457 roadways closed, 440 by high water, 17 from mudslides or rock slides, more than half of those, of course, in western Kentucky. And there are many other county and local rural routes that are flooded, and not all rivers have crested as of this morning, or had. And the number of fatalities related to this storm system stands at 4 tonight after a woman in Nelson County, the child in Franklin County who was washed away by floodwaters going to his school bus stop, a man in McCracken County, and a gentleman from Trigg County were all lost due to the floodwaters. The governor says those who want to help can do so by donating to the Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund, which is closing in on $1 million raised thus far. The rain has ceased, of course, for everyone. Water is receding in many areas, most, but several rivers and creeks remained at flood stage earlier today, and there were still roadways as hard as it is to imagine underwater. And folks, again, like in the Frankfort area and other parts of western Kentucky, they're going to be days away from figuring out just how many weeks, months, years it's going to take to try to recover. Meanwhile, in our weather, we are under a freeze warning for tonight. I'll have the rest of your 7-day in just a few seconds. Confusion as we were trying to get the information out on social media platforms yesterday about the somewhat planned outage. It was planned only briefly as there was a problem that had been detected at the substation on Route 40. And Judge Executive Matt Wireman reached out to us and through his social media was trying to get the word out. He was told there was a one call that was put out by Kentucky Power. All I can tell you is we didn't receive it at Lee's, which was the first area and thought to be the only area that was going to be affected was that of Restaurant Row. But I think once they arrived at the location of the substation, they found some other problems that could not wait, as they were going to try to wait until school was out before turning the power off, but they realized that it was a dangerous situation and that it had to be done then. And in doing so, it took them several more hours than what was expected or anticipated, and that meant power was out for much of Sagersville and parts of McGoffin County, including the red lights. Just as a reminder, anyone who encounters a four-way stop and the traffic lights are not functioning, it is to be treated as a four-way stop with stop signs, and all vehicles, I want to stress all vehicles, must come to a complete stop. And the first to get there is the first to proceed, and so on and so forth. And turn signals, as in all other instances of driving, are not optional. As that wasn't the case yesterday, as Sagersville Police Chief Neil Adams said that numerous witnesses he spoke with said that one vehicle came through red light number 1 on the Mountain Parkway or Restaurant Row and didn't stop, traveling at approximately 50, maybe 60 miles per hour, and collided with a small truck which was making a turn from Tom Fraser Way. I know that there was a driver, obviously, in each vehicle, and possibly a passenger in another, and at least 2 people, says Adams, were going to seek medical attention either from the scene via ambulance or via family personnel, but it was unclear exactly how many were going to go to the hospital as a result of what appeared to be non-life-threatening injuries. With spring comes sniffles and sneezes from that pesky fine powder from plants. Pollen, one of the worst words ever. You could try to limit your time outdoors, but that's really not an option for most of us. So talk to the pharmacist at Parkway Pharmacy and make a plan for personalized solutions for allergy and asthma relief today. SMB is proud to stand with you with what might be your very first and definitely last checking, savings, retirement, even Christmas Club account, along with consumer, auto, mortgage, business loans that you can easily manage from anywhere in the world with safe, secure mobile and online banking that comes from over 120 years of commitment to your financial life and well-being, today, tomorrow, and forever. Salyersville National.
I love working in the coal mines, even though it was hard work. But if you suspect you have black lung, you can't work anymore. You'll find out that filing for benefits is hard too. I had friends who give up after years of trying. If it hadn't been for Big Sandy Healthcare, I wouldn't even try myself. If you think you have black lung, call Big Sandy Healthcare and get the help you deserve.
Get personal with new jewelry collections from Soul Stacks and more at the seasonal shop, with new spring arrivals every week. Arrive and hydrate in style with Brewmate's new Brew Tank and the full color collection of cups and mugs. And come smell for yourself why Tyler's glamorous detergent sprays and soaps are hard to keep in stock. And if it's Easter you're thinking about, there's all kinds of ways to stuff anyone's basket of any age at Frazier's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville.
Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood, the dynamic duo from television's Whose Line Is It Anyway, are coming to town, and they're asking for trouble.
Our show is completely made up.
Prepare for a side-splitting interactive extravaganza as these improv wizards hit the stage, serving up a night of unscripted comedy gold.
It sounds like a big waste of time and a lot of money.
It is.
Don't miss Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood. Catch them on Sunday, May 18th at the Mountain Arts Center. Get your tickets today at macarts.com.
Turning to a national report tonight with some local implications, and that of the coal industry as a whole. Entities and agencies such as the Department of the Interior, the EPA, the Department of Energy are all going to be making some major announcements tonight, which will open the door for increased coal production after President Donald Trump, according to the AP, is expected at any time, if he has not already, but at any time to put his pen to paper and expected to sign executive orders boosting coal production. According to senior White House officials who spoke to the Associated Press, this is going to happen to allow some older coal-fired power plants set for retirement to keep producing electricity to meet rising U.S. power demand amid growth in data centers, artificial intelligence, and electric vehicles. The orders expected sometime this evening will direct federal agencies to identify coal resources on federal lands, remove barriers to coal mining, and prioritize coal leasing on U.S. lands. According to information that was given to the Associated Press, the orders will also direct the Interior Secretary to acknowledge the end of the Obama-era moratorium that paused coal leasing on federal lands and require federal agencies to rescind policies transitioning the nation away from coal production. These orders are also going to seek to promote coal and coal technology exports and to accelerate development of coal technologies. Now, according to the AP, and I believe this to be correct if not close, coal, of course, we all know, provided at one time more than half of the electricity production in the United States. It is now down to about 15% or so, as it has been since 2023. Just as recently as 2010 or 11, it was still around 45% of the electricity population. Natural gas, of course, still providing about half, a little under half, 43% of electricity in the United States, and the rest comes from nuclear energy and renewable energy, of course, such as hydropower and the sun and the wind. With that said, let's go to an arrest, bomb threats made at an Eastern Kentucky high school, as well as to students there, and a teenager, arrested. The Martin County Sheriff's Department says they were called to the Martin County High School yesterday after a man later identified as 18-year-old Harley D. Stepp of DeBoard was said to be making threats to another student about killing that student. And upon arrival, a female victim was able to show screenshots, says authorities, of Stepp saying that he was going to, quote, cut her throat and do the same to other students. And after reading Stepp his Miranda rights, he disclosed to authorities that he had threatened to blow up the school and then provided authorities with a message showing that he had sent to his friend one saying, "I'm going to bomb this school as well." He was charged with making bomb threats and terroristic threatening in the third degree and has since been released on a $1,000 bond. The Magoffin County Fiscal Court met in special session earlier today. A portion of that was dedicated to discussing blacktopping, future blacktopping of Magoffin County roads, a lot of which, as we know, didn't get done last year due to the weather and some other factors. And I sat down with Judge Executive Matt Wireman to kind of find out, well, how they're going to try to catch up with all of that this year. I'll have that in a few seconds. Right now, it's tonight's Magoffin Farm Bureau calendar. Birthday wishes to begin the Malloy borders from family and friends. This is the happiest of birthdays. I think this was phoned in for yesterday, but power was out and we weren't on, so a day belated birthday wishes going out to Malloy borders tonight. Happy birthday to you. A missing dog that I believe is still missing, and the dog's name is Maddie. It's a 2-year-old English sheepdog. She's black and white, and she has a reflective light-colored collar. She is microchipped, last seen on April the 4th on wheel rim. Just had a haircut this summer, so it's shorter than shown in the picture, and her family is desperately seeking her. If you have any information, there's a $150 reward. 315-219-6042 is the number to call. I confirmed earlier today with the judge's office that the Magoffin County Spring Cleanup Campaign is still very well ongoing. We didn't have enough weather to have to postpone it or anything, so District 2, it's all this week, District 3 next week, and then the week after for District 1. And remember, this goes on continuously for the entire 3-week period for the City of Sagersville Cleanup Campaign. The 4-H camp dates for this year, this summer, June the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Call 349-1236 to get your kids registered. And if you want to make some payments to make it a little easier for you, well, they can help you with that too. And I can help you with calendar announcements each and every weeknight, birthdays and anniversaries as well. Going on to funeral service announcements for this Tuesday. Services were held earlier today for 80-year-old Rex Allen of Sagersville. He passed away Saturday, survived by his sons, Rex Jr., Jesse, Steve, and Edward Dwayne Allen, as well as his daughter Jennifer Auksher, his brother Ed, and his 3 sisters, Mary Sue, Lou Edler, and Kathy Ann, 10 grandkids, and 13 great-grandkids, and 1 great-grandchild. He was preceded in death by his wife, Lonnie Allen, trustee, and 3 brothers and 4 sisters. Services will start in the morning for 55-year-old Bubby Stevens, Callie Smith Bubby Stevens of Sagersville. He passed away Sunday, the son of the late Callie and Juanita Perkins Stevens. He's survived by his daughters, Lacey Russell, Alexandria Stevens, and Abby Stevens, his sister Brenda Russell, his brother Harold Pennington, and 3 grandkids. Bubby is preceded in death by his wife, Deidre Hensley Stevens, and his 2 brothers, Kenneth and David. Services start in the morning at 11 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Wednesday morning at 11, tomorrow morning at 11, services will start for 96-year-old Dorothy Mae Preston Howard of James Howard Road. She passed away Sunday. She's survived by her daughter, Garnet Mae Howard Patrick, sons Dola Dawn, Charles, James, Arthur, Millard, Paul, and Billy Howard, her sister Mildred Jenkins, and a host of grandkids, great-grandkids, and great-great-grandkids as well. Services again in the morning at 11 from the Sagersville Funeral Home. Nellie Spurlock, 86 of Spurlock Road, passed away on Monday, survived by a son, Willie Darrell, daughter Teresa Lean White, brother Nicodemus Lafferty, sisters Faria Cold Iron, Martha Jane Castle, and Parthenia Wells, 4 grandkids and 9 great-grandchildren. She was preceded in death by her husband, Miles Jasper, and a daughter, Rita Jane. Services again Thursday at 1 from the Magoffin County Funeral Home. Services are to be announced for 84-year-old Billy G. Howard of Old Lick Creek Road. He passed away Friday, survived by his wife, Pamela Harwell Howard, sons Billy Howard II, Wesley Howard, daughter Amy Combs, and his sisters and brothers and a host of family. A memorial service celebrating the life of Billy G. will be announced at a later date by the Sagersville Funeral Home. And services for James Clay Barnett, 85, formerly of Magoffin County, will be announced at a later time, survived by his wife, Eden Barnett, as well as a host of family arrangements incomplete at this time, but to be announced soon by the Magoffin County Funeral Home. And Dorothy Preston Howard, 96 of Flat Fork, passed away Sunday, preceded in death by her husband Dola. Arrangements to be announced by the Sagersville Funeral Home. For whatever reason, if your working days are over, don't do anything before you meet Grover. Social Security, disability, SSI, work injuries, wear and tear, and hearing loss. 888-9-GROVER.
There are several risk factors that may put a patient at risk for heart disease.
Especially people who have diabetes or hypertension or high cholesterol and have a family history of heart disease.
Neglecting to see a cardiologist can put you in trouble. You may develop problems that may not be reversible.
We see many people who do not have an actual diagnosis of a heart problem, but may be at risk of heart disease, and we do whatever we can to help mitigate that risk to help prevent disease in the future. ARH. More for Appalachia.
My name is Don McFarland, and I have been an attorney in Eastern Kentucky for over 30 years. This is my son, Max McFarland. I'm very proud of Max. He is incredibly intelligent, a hard worker, and is graduating from law school this spring. Max will take the bar exam this summer.
We are a family and we treat our clients like family. Bigger law firms are not always better law firms. There is no substitute for experience, personal attention, wisdom, and knowing who your attorney is.
When you have any legal needs, come see us, and we will personally represent you, and we will put our experience and energy to get the results you need.
If you have been in a car wreck, injured on the job, in need of Social Security disability benefits, or have any legal needs, come see us and let us take care of you. Call us at 349-9000.
If you're getting together to cheer on the Cats and catch the NCAA tournament, do it with a big party platter from Lee's. 40 crispy, spicy buffalo wings, 8 big juicy breast strips, a dozen double dippers, and 10 fried pickle spears. Just $54.99. But if you make your best play by calling in the day before, it'll be hot, it'll be ready, and you'll save $5. Only at your Sayersville, Lee's Famous Recipe.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small town values.
And mom and dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
The Montgomery County Fiscal Court will meet in regular session next week. It was a special session earlier today as they had to get some things done calendar-wise to be able to proceed with some projects. One was the discussion of resurfacing, blacktopping roads in Montgomery County, picking up where they left off. Judge Wireman spent a few moments to explain to me and remind us how it all fizzled out last year and how they're hoping to get ahead of the game this year to get a number of Montgomery County roads resurfaced. And at the same time, how they're not going to be able to work with as much money this year as they had in the past. I'll pick up the rest of the meeting's coverage tomorrow, but a portion of that was dedicated to passing a resolution for flex funding for resurfacing Montgomery County roads. Normally, this would take place a little later in the year, as I understand, but as Montgomery County appears to be, hopefully, as was promised, first in line for resurfacing once contractors get back into the season of resurfacing, they wanted to hopefully be able to have these two roads done at that same time. As Judge Wireman as well sat down with me afterwards and addressed resurfacing for a number of Montgomery County roads and how for the past couple of years they've not seen the funding that they would like to or used to see.
They're going to move us up to the top of the list and try to get those roads that they promised me they was going to get last year before the close of the season. We had 7 roads that we had received funding for to repave, and we prepped the roads. We done all the work, and they kept telling us they're coming, and then the weather got bad and they didn't come. So we've still been in discussions and got some more quotes on some roads that we've been sending in for the state grants, and they're still implying that they're going to come. We don't know when, but we'll have to go out and rework those roads, and I'm sure after all this bad weather that we've been having that we're going to have to rework them anyway, but we wouldn't have had to prep them like we do for blacktopping. So it's been very frustrating having to wait, and these folks still have to travel on those roads. And that's why in the fiscal court meeting today we have what's called flex funding, and it's based upon the remaining funds in our rural and secondary allotment, and they rate the state secondary routes, not the primary routes, A, B, or C. And if you're a C, you get $113,000. If you're a B, you get 220 some thousand, and then there's another 50,000 for being A. That means the state secondary routes are all in really good shape and don't need a lot of work, so there's money left over that they give to the county to repave. They done a reassessment of our roads last year, secondary roads, and dropped us to the C. We got 112,000. That doesn't go very far when it comes to blacktop, but the roads that we had on the list for the legislature for what's called the County Priority Projects something. It's a CPPP. There's a lot of acronyms down there, but it's County Priority Projects. They allotted a certain amount of money, 22 million, I think, across the state to resurface roads in all the counties. In years past, when Governor Bevin was in there, they gave 30-some million to that discretionary fund, and then it went through the governor's office and Department of Local Government and Transportation, and they sent those monies out based upon request for roads that rated. The legislature has since taken that money away from Governor Beshear, which is where we've been getting our resurfacing money for the past 4 or 5 years, and took it and put it into their own project. When they done that, they had all the counties have assessments on their worst roads and sent in, and they had 22 million allotted. They had 134 million in request. So I guess the legislature took it on themselves to divvy that money up and give every county 2 roads. So those roads had to rate a 10 out of 10 on the bad scale. And the list we sent to them had multiple roads on it, and they rated 2 of them 10s. But as it turns out, apparently the city of Sayersville had sent some roads in, and it's the only city in eastern Kentucky that actually got any funding. But they're getting a portion of Coal Branch done, and we have one road called Benny Patrick Road that's allegedly going to be funded. Haven't received official notice yet. But I had these other roads that we needed. So with the money we had, we were able to do today Jellicoe Road and Kelly Branch Road with the flex money that we have left for this year. When we get the allotment for next year, we'll send a whole nother list of roads down for next year's CPP if that's what they decide to do. I'm not sure what in the 26th session they're going to do, but we'll save our flex until they see what they're going to fund, because we have had instances in the past where we put roads on flex and then the governor's office come in behind it and want to fund those roads, but we've already funded them, so I don't want to get ahead of that. So I know that's a long roundabout way to kind of explain what's going on, but we've added 2 more roads to the 7, so we'll have 9 roads hopefully done this spring. If the legislature sends us notice that the 2 they approved, which was 1 for us, that it's under a declaration of emergency or emergency clause, I guess it is in the legislature, we'll blacktop that road too during this early blacktopping season.
All right, let's wrap it up and switch gears and talk about your Licking Valley RECC 7-day, where our outlook is looking at some more frosty mornings, at least one in our near future, that being tomorrow, as we're going to see 22 chilly degrees tonight. I'm not that excited about it. I'm just trying to put a nice little sugar coating on it there for the last part of the program. We topped out at 53 today. We will see a little better than that tomorrow, but again, 22 tonight, clear skies and frost expected. Widespread frost after 1 in the a.m., lingering to about 10 or so tomorrow. But again, for your Wednesday, pretty nice day and an improving day, sunny, 61, light southeast wind at most. We do have some more showers and a pretty good chance of some showers and a consistent chance of some showers starting late tomorrow night, probably an hour or 2 before dawn on your Thursday, to be more specific. We have a 60% chance of showers, and then an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms on your Thursday. Daytime highs not going anywhere, as are not nighttime lows for the next couple of nights, including tonight. 46 for tomorrow night's low and 44 for the following. 61 Wednesday and Thursday with more shower and some storm chances than not. Friday, 53 and 37 for your high, your low, as we go right back in the other direction and get close to where we were today, temperature-wise, just without the sun. Mostly cloudy and a 60% chance of some showers and thunderstorms on your Friday. And what, pray tell, does the weekend hold? As you know, we're Getting closer to the middle of April, well, we're back to the 50s for Saturday again. 55, albeit partly sunny, clear, calm, dry, not bad, and just at or above maybe freezing Saturday night. But there is some relief in sight thereafter. We do. It won't be for the last time that we'll see this dip. It's still just April in eastern Kentucky, but Sunday we climb back up to the mid-60s, 42 that night, with some frost to start, of course, your Sunday morning. Monday, we're getting close to flirting with 80 at 78, 79, might even hit the 80-degree mark. Nighttime lows much more favorable and mild in the upper 50s. Mostly sunny as we have our third mostly dry day in a row there from Saturday, Sunday, and into your Monday. Tuesday, Monday night into your Tuesday, we have some slight shower and storm chances to the tune of 30%. That will work their way in, and with that, we'll see temperatures peak for the 7-day at least on your Monday, and we'll go from the upper 70s to the low 70s on your Tuesday, but still not all bad. Partly sunny skies and only about a 30% chance of some accompanying showers. And that's going to wrap it up for tonight. I'll see you back here tomorrow for the next show after what I hope is a wonderful, albeit somewhat chilly evening for us all. Good night.